look at the secondary. We'll take another look. They're starting a rookie, Terry McDaniel, at left corner. First time a rookie has started there in a long time. Anderson close to the first down. Jack Tatum was the last rookie to start the opening game in the secondary for the Raiders.
Back in 1971, quite a number of years. This has always been a veteran defensive club, Charlie, and for the first time I get the feeling that the questions about the Raiders, as we take a look at the defensive backs, McDaniel, Hayes, Turan, and McElroy, the first time that the Raiders have a question defensively as opposed to offensively. Young secondary, as we said, veteran linebacking crew, but that secondary will pose a problem for them as the year goes along.
3rd down and 1. And Anderson picks up the first down. We'll mark it to the 42. They may call it the 43. But it is a first down as Jerry Robinson makes the tackle for Los Angeles.
This is a change for the Chargers and for Gary Anderson. Jerry Rome is now the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, coming over from the Redskins a year ago. He uses a different type of an offense. You'll see a lot of one-back sets, something called an H-back. We'll explain that to you. It's really a running back that's formed in the side of a tight end. So Gary Anderson is going to have to carry the ball more than he has in the past. He says he wants to find out if he's going to be durable enough.
Quinn Early, rookie wide receiver in motion. Laufenberg rolls out, scrambles, throws, and it is low and incomplete. Going to Anthony Miller, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. And another thing you'll notice from Babe Laufenberg, they set rollouts to both sides and also the ability to scramble.
Right, one of the reasons for that, and not only because of his ability, but because of the problems with their offensive line. Jim Lachey was traded to these Los Angeles Raiders. He was the best lineman the Chargers had. So they're scrambling a bit, trying to put together an offensive line. That's one of the reasons that Babe Laufenberg is also scrambling a lot.
And also, Lachey involved, rumor-wise, with another trade that will be consummated, if so, either late this evening or tomorrow. And that is, of course, for Jay Schrader, the quarterback, one of the backup quarterbacks now for the Redskins. Lionel James. And Little Train goes to the 47-yard line, so he has 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. 10-minute ticker. Let's take a look at the scores. The finals, the Chicago Big over Miami. Laufenberg. And it's incomplete. And this is Anderson. And it'll be 4th down and 5. So offensively, the Raiders were 3 and out. They were 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, and then kicked. And the Chargers picked up a first down. It was a bit of a struggle, though. They had a penalty that hurt them. And it is 4th down, and that means that Ralph Mojinko will be kicking to the Heisman Trophy winner, Tim Brown. Brown, exciting return man in preseason, and also, of course, at Notre Dame. And he has been one of the names rumored to be involved in a possible trade. But that was an early rumor. We haven't heard that one recently. He's out to the 25. Good return to the 30. 32-yard line. Nice return for Tim Brown. He brings excitement to the National Football League. Carl Wilson with the tackle. 37-yard kick. 15 yards on the return.
This is what makes Tim Brown such a good return man. Watch what he does to number 37, Jeff Dale. He makes a miss right at the end. And this is the difference between a mediocre return man and a good return man. Anytime you can get up to double figures at 10 average per return, you're doing a good job. And that kind of movement will get him an extra 2 or 3 yards every time he touches the football. Remember back at Notre Dame, one of the problems, as we take a look, I believe that's Alex Gibbs going over the line. No, it's not. That's the defensive line. That's Howie Long sitting down there trying to get some instruction. Last year at Notre Dame, Tim Brown, the problem was trying to get him the football. They didn't have a quarterback that could get it to him. Now they do. Steve Berline will have to take those reins. But they want to get it to him as much as possible on returns as well.
No score between the Los Angeles Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. And we have 11:18 that is time remaining here in the first period. And the second opportunity on offense for Los Angeles. Berline setting up a screen, and he is chased. He's going to have to just get rid of it. That's DeMarcus Allen. Screen had been infiltrated by Lee Williams, number 99. And he was just sitting there waiting, and he just was dumping it, trying to avoid any kind of a loss. We'll take another look.
Yeah, Don Mosbar, I mentioned earlier, there you see him on the part of your screen, number 72, going against Mike Charles. A good job. He fakes the run block, then comes over to try to get a piece of somebody. That's not a bad job. Remember, Mosbar is switching positions. It's tough to go from an offensive center to an offensive tackle in just a couple of weeks, and he's done it.
2nd down and 10 with Allen and Steve Smith as the 2 running backs. But you look for Berline to throw here on 2nd and 10. They're going to have Marcus see if he can. And guess who he runs into? Lee Williams, who now had moved to the opposite side against the strength of the offensive set. And he makes the play.
Lee Williams, his strength is supposed to be as a pass rusher. He's been the leading sack man for the Chargers the last couple of years. But watch what he does on the run, sneaking through everybody, taking care of the block by number 35, Steve Smith, and throwing Marcus Allen for a loss.
A loss of 4, so it's 3rd down and 14. Thus far, the Charger defense and the Raider offense. As a matchup, the Chargers have won almost every time. The Raiders unable to get anything on track. And the Chargers in the form of Lee Williams looking very good. 3rd down, 14. Christensen in motion. Berline looking to Christensen and completes the pass for the 1st down. 47-yard line. 19 yards. Leonard Coleman makes the tackle. 1st down.
I'm sorry, Charlie. Having Todd Christensen in the game is like having the 4th wide receiver. They put him in motion to try to get a one-on-one matchup with Leonard Coleman, and it works. Gives him an outside move across his face. Coleman is a good 3 yards behind trying to catch up. The ball comes out.
Did you notice, though, that Berline looked at Christensen all the way?
Yeah, he sure did. And you know what it did also? Also in our picture, Pat Miller, number 48, was sitting in the middle of the field. He's reading Berline's eyes, but he did a good job to get it over the top to the man-to-man coverage against Christensen.
First down of 1988 for the Los Angeles Raiders. From their own 47-yard line. No score in the ball game. 9.5 time remaining. Flags everywhere. Marcus Allen says, oh, well, I'll fall forward for a yard, and then they'll sort it out.
Penalty indicated against the Raiders.
Flag going against Los Angeles. Fred Silva is the referee. Again, part of the game story here is going to be the heat. 118 degrees on the field. 108 officially at kickoff.
Fullback, that's Steve Smith, number 35, second-year man from Penn State, with an obvious move upfield. See, what he could have
They're
done.
going to refuse it, though, yeah.
Yeah, because they've got 2nd and 9 now. Marcus Allen should have been a little more, tried to have been a little more productive with it. He thought a whistle had blown. You've got to go until you're certain, because if he gets 3 or 4 yards, well, then there's an option for them to take the penalty or not. But there, it's 2nd and 9. The Chargers elect to go with that instead of giving them another down to 3rd and 15, or 1st and 15.
Berline should be shaking some of the butterflies about now. And here's Marcus Allen. Smith the lead blocker. And Marcus to the 50. So a gain of only a couple. And it's going to be 3rd down and 7 as Chuck Fawcett, inside left linebacker from Maryland in his first year of the National Football League, makes the tackle near the midfield stripe. Here's Al Saunders, now the 2nd youngest head coach to Mike Shanahan of the Raiders, who becomes the youngest head coach in the football.
He's got to be happy with what he sees with his defense thus far. The problem they had last year was they were 24th against the run. However, this team, the Raiders, who were first in the AFC in rushing in '87, have had trouble mounting any kind of a rushing attack in the early going.
3rd down, Raiders now with 4 wide receivers. He spotted it at the 49 rather than the 50.
Oh.
Pressure and drop. Pat Miller blitzing from the secondary. And a 9-yard sack for San Diego, their first of the ball game.
Right, Pat Miller used to be a linebacker. The blind side is where it gets him here. Mosbar has got to get outside to try to help out when they see the blitz coming, although Berline has to check out of that, get rid of the football as quickly as you can. Mosbar could not be blamed for that kind of a play.
And Jeff Gossett kicking. Lionel James stays away, then takes it on the hop. And a good play. He salvages about 4, maybe 5 yards on a very quick return. Norwood Van for the Los Angeles Raiders was down covering, and San Diego will take over. We've got a flag back at the 42-yard line. It was a 42-yard kick. Jeff Gossett, the punter for the Raiders. This one they're going to bring back. So San Diego wants Gossett to do it again.
Gossett's been punting well, a 49-yarder, a 42-yarder.
Yeah.
He's having quite a day early going. It's been a rough day for Steve Smith. That is his 2nd penalty on the day.
Now look at Alson. He looks so dapper. He had long sleeves and a tie all the way up. It's 108 degrees out. Remember when we saw him in his first head coach? It was at Denver. In the first game, he was the head coach. He looked exactly the same. We found out later he had long underwear on underneath because it was like 17 below. And this is going to be fair catch taken at the 25-yard line, so it's going to work out just about the same. But that's a choice that you have to make. And we'll make a timeout with the score San Diego nothing and the Raiders nothing. We'll be back to the Coliseum. First quarter, 7:52 left to go in the heat, you might add. It's close to 120 degrees on the field. Laufenberg goes deep, and it's behind the intended receiver, who is Quinn Early, and Mike Haynes had a chance but couldn't pick it off. Second down.
Quinn Early, a third-round draft choice. They went for speed here and in their last draft, and they got a great deal of speed. Well, let's take a look at Laufenberg. He looked smooth, but as you mentioned, Charlie, he looked exactly where he wanted to go with the football. Didn't look a Mike Haynes off at all. Mike Haynes is 35 years of age. He's been a Pro Bowl more times than most people have a right to be. You can't do that to him. He's got that big wingspan. He's looking in at the quarterback. He's not worried about the receiver in front of him. And that time, Laufenberg sent him right there.
Anderson slipped one tackle, but he will lose 4. As Matt Millen was there to bring him down. Third down 14.
Take a look at Millen. Millen is the man who just goes through everybody. And that is David Richards, number 65, the offside pulling guard, trying to come over. He's the rookie, but Millen goes straight through him. Richards is going to get quite an intentional instruction today. Look at the veterans there. That's what we're talking about. Against that rookie.
Look at the ages, 33, 30, 31, 34, 42 years of experience at linebacker. Third and 14 for the shotgun with 2 backs to protect. Most ball clubs only keep 1 in. Low snap, Laufenberg scrambles. Sets, he wants to go deep, and he does. As a man, he is underthrown, and it is incomplete. Miller got behind Mike Haynes, had a couple of steps on him, but Laufenberg, a right-handed passer, running to his left when he set up, just couldn't reach him.
Well, in this case, Anthony Miller is the one who made the mistake. When your quarterback is in trouble, when he's scrambling around, you never go downfield. Miller's got that great speed, but Laufenberg is going to his left. That's why he underthrows here. What Miller should have done is to come back toward Laufenberg. He can't get enough on the football. That's why it's underthrown and nearly intercepted by Mike Haynes.
An illegal formation call against San Diego. The Raiders will refuse it to make it 4th down, as Tim Brown is set up to return the kick of Ralph Mojenko. And Brown, right now, you're looking at, he's at the 41-yard line. Now to the 40-yard line in Raider territory. So Los Angeles, after this, if he has any kind of return, starts with their best field position of the afternoon. We're still scoreless with 6:52. That is the time remaining. We're in the first quarter. And as you follow the flight of the ball, you can see a lot of people went to the beach today. 38-yard line. About 5 yards on the return to the 43. Randy Kirk makes the tackle for San Diego. We've got a timeout. We have.
I don't think anybody will mind in this heat.
The Raiders on first down have not been very impressive offensively. Marcus Allen with the call. Mike Charles with the tackle.
Bill Lewis, number 51, the new starting center for the LA Raiders. Let's see how he does. Going against, let's see, Joe Phillips, number 75. Good takedown. Hey, if we had a referee there, a wrestling referee, he'd have counted him out. Well, he's learning fast. He learned from Don Mosbar, of course. Bill Lewis put there during this preseason because Mosbar had a back injury, and Lewis played so well, they decided to keep it that way. Move Mosbar out to the right tackle spot.
Steve Smith and Marcus Allen are the 2 running backs. Marcus is leaning. We've got flags everywhere. As you can see, there was some jumping by San Diego. We may have offsetting penalties if he got caught in the neutral zone. I'm wondering if the backs, but they shouldn't. I mean, they've gone through 4 preseason games. If the backs are having some problems with Berline and his snap count.
You're right, Charlie. They shouldn't have that kind of a problem. It's been a sloppy first quarter, though.
It's interesting. They're calling it only an offside penalty against San Diego, and I really thought that we had Marcus leaning before the snap. I thought we were looking at offsetting penalties. I think they may have missed that.
Joe Phillips was granted a roster exemption until the 12th of September. However, was activated just before the game. He was holdout for a few weeks.
Second down and 3.
Second down and 3. San Diego a pair of penalties for 10 yards. Allen and Smith in the backfield. And here's Marcus, of course, from San Diego. And is out at the 42-yard line. A gain of 7. And a first down for the Raiders. Billy Ray Smith and Keith Browner with us now.
A name that was not called today, will not be called today, is that of Chip Banks. Well, here's the man who's replacing him. He, of course, the holdout for the Chargers. Keith Browner, number 57. Watch him get beat. That's a good block by Smith, number 35. All he wants to do is make sure that Marcus Allen has an opportunity to get around the corner. Keith Browner's job is to make sure he doesn't get hooked. He was hooked that time.
First down at the San Diego 42-yard line. And here's Marcus to the outside, and he has the corner, and then goes out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. Gil Byrd was chasing him. He's going to have 8 or 9 yards on the play.
It's the same play going to the other side, Charlie. Billy Ray Smith, this time number 54, the other outside linebacker for the Chargers, was hooked, allowing Marcus to get around the corner the other way. Take a look at it. Billy Ray's number 54 will come into your screen. There he is there, getting held up. It looked by the tight end. That might have been Christensen. Maybe it was Trey Junkin, the backup tight end. And then downfield, a block by James Lofton would have provided Marcus with a number of more yards.
And Gil Byrd took him out of bounds. Marcus Allen, 7 carries, 16 yards. He likes to carry, he likes to be in that 20-22 carry range. He's going to break one here and there. Needed just a yard for the first down, and he goes to the 31, so he gets 2. And has the first down as we check the late scores. Chuck Fawcett with the last tackle. Seattle, Denver scoreless at Mile High Stadium. Cleveland, Kansas City scoreless at Arrowhead. Jets, New England now tied 3-3. Indianapolis leading Houston. That's a good battle. Both of those ball clubs capable of making the playoffs.
And both did a year ago. Yeah, 2 good young football teams.
And they say Houston has the best offensive line in the National Football League. Now you may wonder who they are. I found out.
Who are they, Charlie?
Reader's Digest.
Good. I like that.
First down, then you can use it at the 11. First down at the 31-yard line. Here's the reverse. Willie Gall.
Fumble.
Hurdling, and San Diego saying they have the ball, and it was hurtling right along the sideline. And San Diego has a fumble recovery. So let's take another look.
Coming all the way around, I think the play here is made by Lee Williams. Number 99 stays at home. He turns the play back in. See him out there? He wasn't fooled at all by the reverse. There comes the ball out right on the sideline, and number 44, Martin Bayless, comes up with it for the Chargers. But the play was made by Lee Williams. He's had a tremendous first quarter thus far, Charlie. Staying at home, knowing what he has to do, turns the reverse back in and makes the big play by getting the fumble.
Now, Fawcett was also there. Did he knock it loose? And Bayless with the recovery. We'll check to see what it is officially. And San Diego has the ball, first down, on their own 27-yard line. And Gary Anderson, 3 yards to the 30. Second down and 7. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Tippers Flair. Tough rivalry between San Diego, the Chargers, and the Raiders. And again, it is very warm, so frustration sets in early on a day like this, and on the field it's close to 120 degrees. Howie Long and Bill Pickel making the last stop as Anderson comes out. Anderson, they want him to be the big playback. His rushing, he's only averaging 3.5 yards. Now, this is the average a year over 3 years. His receptions, that average of 11.1, that's pretty good for a back. But most of that time, he was a wide receiver. That's not a good average for a wide receiver.
No, it isn't. And I think they've got to find out about him. He does have big play capability. They've got to give him the football enough times to find out what he can do with it.
Second down and 7. Darren Flutie in motion. Offenberg with pressure does what he does best, is scramble away from it. And he's going to get as much back as he can and then be taken out of bounds. Greg Townsend finally chased him down.
Who's he trying to go to here, Charlie, this time around? You know who they double-team that time, oddly enough? Darren Flutie, the free agent. They had him double-team out there. Why, Anthony Miller, the #1 guy, and Quinn Early, the #1 guy, or #3 guy for him, is out there running man-to-man. So is Lionel James running man-to-man. This is the mistake they're making, though. You never go downfield when your quarterback is scrambling, guys. Run it back toward the quarterback and help him out. You go downfield, and there's not an area to throw the football.
That'll go as a sack for Townsend. And a loss of 3 on the play. Flags are down everywhere. It's really been sloppy. I'm surprised.
Well, you do have 2 young quarterbacks. You've got a lot of young people out there. But, Charlie, there really isn't much of an excuse. They've been in camp for a couple of months and have 4 football games under their belts.
But those are mental mistakes. And you shouldn't make mental mistakes.
Well, they happen more often when you're fatigued and when it's this hot. I used to find in Miami that the hotter the day, the more mental mistakes you made, because you're trying to concentrate so much on just keeping going, you lose sight of the fact of what you're trying to get done, and you make more mistakes.
But still, we only play football for like 12 and a half minutes, 11 and a half minutes.
It's 118 degrees on the field.
Hey.
I know, they get paid for it. Okay.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but you thought it.
You're right. I didn't.
I agree.
Sure, it's easy for you to say it. You're up here. You didn't agree when you were playing. Tipped, and it is incomplete. Darren Flutie, the intended receiver. It will be 4th down and 15. Eddie Anderson is the defensive back of the Raiders who tipped it. So San Diego not too impressive in that offensive try. And Tim Brown will be the return man once again, as Ralph Mojinko, the Pro Bowler, will be kicking. Checking the flags. He's into just a bit of a headwind, maybe a little crosswind.
Even Tim Brown, one of the nicest men in football, looks meaner in a Raider uniform, doesn't he?
Oh, sure. Oh, this is a great kick. This is a Pro Bowl kick. Back to the 15-yard line. Now to the 20. And about 14 yards on the return, but Ralph Mojinko really nailing the kick. Carl Wilson with the tackle. That punt good for 62 yards. It was Chuck Fawcett who did recover the fumble, and that was the fumble of Willie Galt on the end around. And Los Angeles now from their own 29-yard line, 1st down. No score between the Raiders and the Chargers. Burline over the middle, and the pass will be incomplete. Fawcett, who recovered the fumble, was there defensively, and Steve Smith, the fullback, the intended receiver. Burline has completed only 1 of 5 passes for 19 yards. Not an auspicious start.
And it's been a trouble time for the San Diego defense. Billy Ray Smith has re-injured a calf. We're not sure when he'll be able to return. And Mike Charles, their starting nose tackle, re-injured his left knee and will not return today. So they're trying to put out the fires on the San Diego sideline.
And the Raiders now with Trey Junkin and Todd Christensen in the set, a double tight end. And it is 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Burline goes deep, far side. Pass is complete. 1st down. Willie Galt pulls it in, and Elvis Patterson was the man chasing him.
I don't know how Elvis Patterson got stuck going man-to-man against Willie Galt, but that's no man's land. There's a couple of speeds. There's fast, and then there's Willie Galt. That's what he does for this offense. Up in the slot, over to the right part of your screen, that's Galt. Patterson is off him. He's got to worry about him. He's got to worry about that deep speed, the quick cut to the sideline. And Patterson is lucky that Galt didn't have enough room to turn up the field, because with his speed, he could have gotten all the way down the sideline. 16 yards in the 1st down to the Raiders' 45-yard line. Sorry, 2 great acquisitions by the Raiders this offseason. One was Jim Lachey, their offside tackle, but the biggest one, in my estimation, was Willie Galt.
Now we'll take a look at the 10-minute ticker. And neither the quarterback, Steve Burline, or Babe Laufenberg, have been that impressive.
No, they haven't, but in their first start is...
You're not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to be. If they're lighting it up on fire, then we've got a real story.
Here's Marcus.
Tell you what the Raiders are doing. They're doing something that receivers don't like very much. They're putting him in motion and then snapping the ball when the receiver is behind the center, and he's going downfield and trying to block a defensive tackle. James Lofton did that time. Irvin Fernandez did it on the previous play, and I'll tell you, that'll cut a receiver's career in real quick.
third down and less than a yard for the first down. And they may say we want to take a measurement. They may ask for the chains to come out. And I just have a feeling we're going to see more of this than normal, in as much as the temperature is so hot. In case you just joined us, we're scoreless. Temperature officially 108 degrees at kickoff, about 120 here on the floor of the Coliseum. We had a big thermometer down there, and then we brought it up here to see if how hot it was in the booth. It's 112 in the booth, so we sent it back down on the field because that was not any kind of news that we wanted to hear. So I think it's as much rest time as you can get for a measurement, for any kind of what they call administrative stoppages. This just gives you an idea of the.
I love that term. I love
like
that term.
Administrative
stoppages.
It sounds like a government term, doesn't it?
TV, it means TV timeout, I think is what it really
or for a penalty, or for a measurement. Or for an instant replay for a conference.
But can you see one of these players come up and saying, we'd like to take an administrative stoppage? Come on. Third and just about 2 inches to go for this first down.
Marcus Allen, 27 yards and 10 carries, obviously a 2.7-yard average. And he holds to just about that average as he picks up the first down at the 43. What does it do? What does it do to a running back on a day like this kind of a temperature?
Well, I think it affects everybody equally. I mean, the big offensive linemen, they've got more bulk to carry around. Normally, they're going to get very flustered in this kind of heat. But for a running back, he's supposed to be able to be a better conditioned athlete. And Marcus has already carried 11 times in the first quarter, though. That is a terrible pace in this kind of temperature.
He is the remaining back, and we're taking our countdown. 30 seconds, time remaining in the first quarter. And it is Marcus again. And this is the kind of, when he was at the University of Southern California, this is, he would have, 27 carries, 30 carries, 33 carries up in that category. That may be what we're looking at today as Chuck Fawcett makes the tackle. And we have 14 seconds and counting to take us to the quarter as we take another look.
Sorry, did he lose the ball right at the end of this? Let's take a look. Right at the end of this play.
No, hit his elbow.
Yeah,
no, elbow
it was
down.
As soon as the elbow goes down,
that's
he's
the
down.
old ground cannot cause a fumble.
Right.
First time of many times we'll say that this season. Gun sounds. That is the end of a scoreless first quarter between the San Diego Chargers and the Los Angeles Raiders. We'll be back in a moment.
25 yards passing thus far, and
exactly.
Babe well, no, these are exact statistics.
Yes, they are.
And Babe Laufenberg with just 9 yards passing. We expect a lot of fun.
Second down and 5. Oh, we got a mistake is what we have. Who was that? Was that Mosbar?
No.
It was Mosbar. Yeah, no,
where was he going?
I don't know. He was creasing out. I think it was a trap, and he wanted an early start.
Well, the reason I thought it was a tight end because I thought they had confusion about who was going to go in motion.
No.
Mosbar can't go in motion.
That's right. And I think after he took a step, he realized that. And that one is, how do you hide?
When you're that big, I don't think
you don't hide. You don't hide. Yes. How big is he? 6'6", 275. Second and 10. No score. We're just opening the second quarter in the heat in the Coliseum. It is hot. Burline to throw. 5-man rush. Pretty good protection. Deep out far side and a good pass. And this is to Mervyn Fernandez, his first reception of the 1988 season. Elvis Patterson is the man they were picking on. And for an update, let's go to New York City and Gail Gardner. Thank you, Gail. A gain of 16 on the last play here to the 26-yard line. First down for the Raiders. Marcus has 2. We'll give him 3 to the 23. And it'll be second down and 7. He continues to be the workhorse in this ball game.
Yeah, he's carrying the ball quite a bit for this heat. You know what Burline did on that pass play that he completed?
What did he do?
What I liked about it, he threw the ball before Mervyn Fernandez broke. So the timing between them seems to have caught on. The question you asked before, has he been working enough with this first unit? That suggests that he has, because he threw it well before Fernandez made his break.
But Fernandez is not on the first unit.
No, he's not.
Aha.
You're absolutely right. Second team.
Second down and 8. They marked it only to the 24-yard line. Marcus in motion.
That's a flag.
This is a black flag. Pass is incomplete.
Tell you why it's a flag.
Why is it a flag?
Because when the receiver went in motion, he didn't get reset. before the second man went in motion. There can't be two men in motion unless both receivers are set for one count.
Tim Brown, the intended receiver here. Good call. Now, do you accept it or refuse it? 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 13?
You accept it.
Okay. Why?
Because you're getting into the area where a field goal may be made or may be missed.
And so you want to try and get him as far out as possible field goal range.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Okay. Let's see.
I think I'm absolutely wrong for thinking the clock is.
And it's refused. Does not make you wrong.
That's why I'm sitting up here in the booth with you, Jerry.
3rd down and 8 at the 24-yard line. That's one of those. You can go either way. Tom.
Yeah, only because of the area they're in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a longer field goal.
A longer field goal with 2 opportunities versus a shorter field goal with 1 opportunity to pick up the first down. Berline from the shot. Here comes the blitz. Almost intercepted. Oh. Elvis Patterson may have seen 6 points.
He may have.
Ooh.
Marcus Allen was supposed to block that time, and he looked like Butch Cassidy, you know, when the Bolivian army was coming over the highlands. Who are those guys? Because he just watched them all go by.
Take names.
If you can see him, take a look at Marcus now. You can't see him from this angle. Willie Gall coming inside was open, but Berline had so much pressure on him that he was not able to wait for Gall to break back to the outside.
It's okay. Patterson was open too, and he hit him in the hands. All right, this is from the 31-yard line, a 41-yard field goal attempt, and it is no good by Chris Barr. So Barr misses from 41 yards away, and the ball game, which never has gotten on track, continues on that pace. Now with 13:58, that is the time remaining in the second quarter. We've got a timeout, and still no score between San Diego and the Raiders. Chargers with the ball at their own 24-yard line. 13:58, that is the time remaining in the first half. Laufenberg to Anderson. They may give him a yard to the 25, and that's going to be about it as Jerry Robinson makes the tackle. So it will be 2nd down and 9.
And you saw a little bit of extra oomph on the part of Jerry Robinson when Gary Anderson was trying to get back up. I think one of the problems that the Chargers face today, they are so young, especially at their wide receiver core, that they're afraid that the Raiders are going to come out and try to intimidate those young people. They're going to come to the sideline and somebody's got to say, hey, it's okay. This is normal. It's going to happen all the time. Go back out and do what you have to do. But thus far, their young people, Anthony Miller, Quinn Early, have not been involved in the passing game at all.
Quarterback draw all the way. And takes a hit. Woo! Malcolm Taylor. But that's a call play. What do quarterbacks, you've been in a lot of huddles, what do quarterbacks feel when that play comes in? They like it?
No, they think about audibling it. But I think
changing it, yeah.
Babe Laufenberg scrambles so much. Yeah. I think he likes that type of play.
Well, and he's young. Taylor and Davis with the hit.
Oh, my. That's how he longs.
That's how he longs.
Popping it from the front.
Eight of a couple.
He's got to be able to learn how to find a hole.
Or learn an audible.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7. It's Darren Flutie, the man in motion. Laufenberg deep over the middle, and it is incomplete to Lionel James. So it will be 4th down and 7. Terry McDaniel had the coverage.
The Babe took quite a hit
Dan
that
McElroy,
time, too.
go ahead.
Just trying to get the ball off. The Laufenberg took quite a hit that time from, I believe it was Malcolm Taylor who was coming in.
Ralph Mojico, who has now got a little bit of a tailwind. He's given us a punting exhibition. This one not quite up to par, but he's going to take a good bounce and roll. And is going to be inside the 25-yard line as Tim Brown stayed away from it. And that one good for 51 yards. We have no score. We'll be back to the heat of the Coliseum. Hope it's a little cooler for those ball games next week. And we're headed for Seoul in the Olympics, as a lot of the NBC announcers are. But the legends will be joining you all across the NBC network. Kurt Gowdy, Aldi Regattas, they will be back. Chuck Thompson, Ray Scott.
Oh, yeah. What great. I mean,
yes.
I love the way he called the football game. And continues to call. He will
yes, he
for
does.
us the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. So that's a lateral. They can throw off of it. They can go deep. Good coverage. And it is incomplete.
And
that's good coverage by Patterson.
They got to get a flag back there on James Lofton. He just grabbed the back of the jersey on Patterson and pulled him away from an interception. But it is good coverage, you're right, Charlie, because that play, we could see it up here because we've got a very high angle. Hangs onto it for a very long time. He wants to uncork that.
And Marcus takes a hit when he lets it go.
He sure did. Yeah, we couldn't see the end of the play, but Patterson was pulled down by the back of the jersey by James Lofton, which is a good play for a receiver. If you don't get caught, you turn into a defender there, and it's a good play.
But the good thing about it from Patterson's standpoint, you know, he has the nickname Toast. He's been burned a lot, as everybody knows. That time he had excellent coverage. That should also be pointed out. Here's the draw, Marcus Allen. San Diego's defense is playing pretty well. And we now understand that Billy Ray Smith is out for the game. Mike Charles is out for the game. And with Billy Ray, that's that same calf problem that's bothering the last 10 days. But Lee Williams continues to lead that defense for San Diego. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they certainly are. He of course, was a whole lot for a while in camp. They needed him back in. The other person that this Charger defense is missing is, of course, Leslie O'Neal, injured, severe knee injury. Not clear whether he'll be able to be back this year or ever.
They're the possession. Punt, fumble, and a missed field goal. So the Raiders have not been impressive offensively, but San Diego has been impressive defensively. Marcus Allen, 40 yards on 14 carries already. Burline rolls, tip. Are they going to have a flag? No, because the ball had been tipped.
Right, exactly.
If it had not been tipped, they would have had a flag. That's what he's signaling, a tip. Oh, what's this tipped? It's free. You're on your own. Look out.
Free game. Once the ball is tipped, James Lofton is free game, and it's a good play by the defensive back to know that, to realize it, and to go through the receiver and knock him down.
That was Gilbert for San Diego. Here's another look. There's the tip.
Right. Now the receiver is free game. Just knock him down.
Yeah. Pat Miller makes the tip.
And that's Gilbert, number 22, coming up.
And here comes the kick, and Lionel James takes it at the 32-yard line to the 35. Restarts to the 38. So a fair return for San Diego as the Chargers will move on offense in a ball game that has been scoreless to this point and still is. A report on Willie Galt, pulled groin. The status is uncertain. That last punt good for 44 yards. A 5-yard return by Lionel James, but Jeff Dale was caught for blocking in the back. Cost 10 yards, so you take it back to the 27-yard line. San Diego with the ball, first down, no score, just over 11 minutes, time remaining second quarter. 5 in the secondary for the Raiders. They look for the Chargers to come out throwing. Offenberg has pressure, goes left side. Pass is complete to Quinn Early. And he goes out as Terry McDaniel takes him out as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC. This is Charlie Jones, Jimmy Cefalo, the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Raiders at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum with now 10 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the second quarter. A scoreless ball game, and the temperature on the field hovering between 115 and 120 degrees. It's a hot hover, I tell you. Tim Spencer across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Check of the other scores. Seattle 7 and Denver nothing. And Cleveland, Kansas City still scoreless. Jets and New England still tied. Indianapolis in front of Houston 14-7. Those games all in the second quarter, as is ours. Third down and 1. It's a passing formation on 3rd and 1. And Anderson has it, and the first down. Good play.
Yeah, it sure is.
You caught the defense in a situation substitution where they expected you to run.
Right, and it's the perfect time to do it, too, because, you're not that deep in your own territory, so you don't have to worry about field position. And it's a scoreless game. It's early in the second quarter. Perfect time to go for it. However, in my book, if you're going to go for that on 3rd down, you throw the deeper pass. They did not have a deeper receiver downfield. You always have somebody in the flat as an outlet. But on that particular play, Al Saunders did not have a receiver deep downfield. If you're going to gamble, go for it.
Good for 9 and the first down. So a mini gamble, you might say. When early in motion, flags down, may have turned downfield too soon. Offenberg with pressure, intercepted. Mike Haynes with the interception. Now we'll go back and check out the flag. Was it against San Diego? Did Early turn upfield too soon? He did. It is refused. And the Raiders have the ball.
Well, I think as an example, Laufenberg, this was a designed rollout, but I don't think the receiver gave him any help downfield. Let's take a look at Early. Yeah, he's got to throw this ball off the wrong foot, and that's really what caused it. Early couldn't have helped him that much. It was a designed pattern. And Mike Haynes, the old crafty veteran, with adding to his list of interceptions with 44, the leading active interceptor in the AFC.
And that is his 16th interception as a Raider. So the Raiders with the ball at their own 48-yard line. First down, and no score in the ball game. With 10:06 left to go in the first half. And a fumble on the snap. Erline just diving underneath, and I think recovered his own fumble. Yes, he did. Bill Lewis is the center. A little misconnection there.
How about that offensive line of the Raiders?
How about that offensive line?
Are they
of the
big or
Raiders?
what, Charlie? 6'6", 280 is the average size.
Oh, you scared me.
Line's happy with the size.
How big? How big?
6'6", 280. That's the average size. There they look. There you look at that. And a young group, too. It's just 26 years of age, the average
Look
age.
at that size. 6'6", 290, 6'5", 270, 6'7", 275, 6'5", 280, 6'6". That's 5 major appliances.
That's a meat locker is what that is.
Man. 2nd and 11. This is a screen. And the pass is complete. And Marcus Allen has some running room. He is exciting to watch. 44-yard line of San Diego. A gain of 9 is going to be a couple shy of the first down. Marcus Allen has now caught a pass in 69 consecutive games that he's played in. That's a Raider record. And it's 3rd down and 2. I wonder how much weight Marcus, he weighs 205. How much will he lose today in this game? You know, as much work, he's involved in everything.
Sure.
If he stays at this, he's going to lose 6-7 pounds.
Well, I played at 190, and I would lose 5 or 6 pounds, so you would imagine he'd lose that many. Furline out for a pass, Charlie.
Marcus to Burley, he's got it! And there is your new quarterback combination. Marcus Allen to wide receiver Steve Burla. Oh!
And I don't think Keith Browner could believe it. He was the one trying to cover Burline. He said, wait a minute, this guy's got the wrong number on. What's he going out for a pass for? Marcus sells it, though. He puts it under his arm to pretend like he is running.
And not a bad throw.
A perfect throw. Over the shoulder.
Look at that catch.
A great catch on the part of Burline. Yeah.
Multi-talented.
He sure is. And Keith Browner looked at him and was a bit surprised. Matt Millen's got to get involved in it. Kiss him on the helmet, Matt. Go ahead.
21 yards. First down to San Diego 23. Remember where that play came from?
I don't
Denver Broncos. They used it there. Mike Shanahan, the new head coach of the Raiders, offensive coach there, they threw back to Elway.
They sure did.
Yes.
I remember the Dolphins using it a number of years ago with David Woodley as a quarterback. I think anytime you have that quarterback who's young enough
young enough
not to question the coach, you'll have him going downfield to catch a pass.
Young enough not to question the guy. Love it. And of course, Marcus loves it, and he carries on the last play. But again, he likes to throw.
He's thrown twice today.
Thrown twice. He's 1 for 2, 50%.
Wasn't he a high school quarterback?
Yes. I say that quickly, and I'm not 100% sure.
I think he was.
I think he was. But we will go to the record book and find out. I believe so. And here is Marcus to the 10. Vincey Glenn with the tackle.
A couple of nice blocks downfield. One by Don Mosbar, number 72. He'll be the right tackle there. And the other one by Steve Smith, number 35, the lead back. See Mosbar checking the inside, going downfield. And Steve Smith opened the hole for him.
Born in San Diego, All-America Player of the Year honors as quarterback and defensive back, Lincoln High School in San Diego. Hearst Newspaper's California High School Athlete of the Year as a senior. 6 letters, 3 in football, 3 in basketball. All CIF guard in basketball. Man is talented. He's carried 16 times for 52 yards. We're still in the first half. And here he is again. He's got it. And deservedly so. Gossett to hold, and Chris Barr will attempt the point after. And this one is good. And the score, the Los Angeles Raiders 7 and the San Diego Chargers nothing. Now with 6:26 time remaining, first half.
Left side of the offensive line for the Raiders. Watch him. 74, Jim Lachey. 73, Charlie Hanna. And Smith, number 35, gives them the hold initial thrust, but it is Marcus Allen who carries two defenders the final 3 or 4 yards. He's not a big man, Charlie, but he carries people along with him. Look at that. 2 defenders trying to hang on. Gilbert, number 22, one of them. But Marcus Allen dives into the end zone for his first touchdown of 1988. 17 carries in the first half with 118-degree temperatures. That's amazing.
And the drive, 52 yards in 6 plays. It consumed 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
We mentioned the offensive line of the Raiders, and talking to some of the coaches, some of the players, they're excited about the offensive line. They think it's the best one they've had since the days of Art Shell and Gene Upshaw, and that's saying quite a bit.
It is.
2 Hall of Famers for certain, I believe.
Let's check the 10-minute ticker.
He's averaging over 1,500 yards total offense.
94 yards.
Each year in his first 6 seasons. Remarkable statistic.
And this will be down in the end zone by Jamie Holland as Chris Barr kicked off. And San Diego will move on offense from their own 20-yard line. It's been a Marcus Allen first half so far as the Raiders are concerned. Defensively, it has been Lee Williams for San Diego.
Well, if you had an offensive line like they have and a Marcus Allen back there with a young quarterback and Steve Berline, it's the right way to go despite the heat, to try and give Berline a little bit of time to become acclimated to being their starting quarterback in the regular season. Now, on the other side of the ball, Babe Laufenberg does not have that advantage. He does not have a back or an offensive line that can produce the way that Marcus Allen and the Raiders have done.
Total yards Chargers 41, Marcus Allen 72. That's total yards offense. We, of course, tagged in his passing yards. Tipped. And it is caught. Quinn Early pulled it in, held his concentration to the 49-yard line, 31 yards, 49-yard line of Los Angeles.
Hey, this is a play Dan Fouts made a living on. It's a timing pattern. He's got to throw the ball before the safety gets over. Looks the safety off. Laufenberg did it very well. Turan late, or McElroy late coming over. That's all done on the part of Laufenberg looking the safety off because he has a very slim margin to fit it into Early. Quinn Early between the 2 safeties, the safety and the cornerback.
And Van McElroy is the injured player for the Los Angeles Raiders, and he is the man being administered to at the 47-yard line. That, of course, stopping the clock. 6 minutes and 3 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first half. Laufenberg now 4 of 11 for 53 yards, and he has been intercepted 1 time. And that was by Mike Haynes. And that, of course, as we stated, is number 26, Van McElroy, the injured player, who is being assisted to the sideline.
And the Raiders are a bit light in the secondary. Eddie Anderson they've got back there who can replace McElroy, Stacy Turan, and Zeph Lee, the other safeties.
First down, San Diego. Raiders lead it 7-0. Gary Anderson. They'll mark it for 3 to the 46. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. As you can see, it is a rivalry that continues. Townsend coming out and now pushing and shoving. A little pointing. Pointing always helps.
Matt Millen always in the middle of the fracas.
Oh, sure. Roderick Thompson was the pointer and Millen the pointee. And Mike Wise was involved there, as was Jerry Robinson.
Matt Millen really is a jovial kind of guy. He doesn't act it on the field, but he was a teammate of mine at Penn State. He had a holdout until last week. He got into the huddle. Did not know some of the players. He said, "Who's my safety?" Dennis Price says, "I am." And Millen said, "Who are you?" He said, "Hi, Matt. My name is Dennis Price. Nice to meet you." Just a week ago.
2nd and 7. And this pass is complete to Gary Anderson. Mark it at the 43-yard line, gain of 3.
And that's a nice play by Jerry Robinson. He's the one who made the tackle on Anderson. The reason being is that now with the speed that the Chargers have on the outside, teams have to double team them. The Raiders were concerned that either Matt Millen or Jerry Robinson were going to have to cover Gary Anderson man-to-man. They're worried about it. If they can keep Robinson on him, they're all right because he's a better coverage linebacker. Matt Millen is scared to death that he's going to have to carry Gary Anderson one-on-one.
Third down and 4.
Oh, what a catch.
He holds on at the 9-yard line. Anthony Miller. Eddie Anderson, who has just replaced Van McElroy, is the man they were picking on. 34 yards. And you had to wait to see if he would hold it when he came down, and he does.
Babe Laufenberg has found himself in this series. The second great throw of the series. And I mean great because it's in between two defenders. It can't be thrown anywhere else and be completed. And that, for me, I mean, part of the problems of being a sportscaster is you use those wonderful terms like great. But that's a great throw.
And not that shabby reception
No,
either.
not at all.
9-yard line. First down, goal to go. Chargers driving for the tie. Here is Gary Anderson, and he will lead just inside the 5-yard line for it is second down and goal to go.
Anthony Miller.
And you're right. Laufenberg showing some spark here.
He is. And Anthony Miller, the wide receiver they took in the first round who made that catch. The book on him is that he has great speed, but the question was, could he hang on to the ball? He dropped an easy touchdown pass a week ago, but he showed there he can do it.
Charlie Joyner, the receivers coach, likes his hands. Moving on the 3-minute mark, time remaining first half. Raiders lead it 7-0. Second down, goal to go. Anderson to the 3. Third down, goal to go. I think you should throw on second down because that sets it up so if you want to, you can run or throw on third. Now you've got to throw. Everybody knows it.
Oh, I think so. When
You taught me that last year.
Yeah, when you're at the 5 and further, I think you throw on second down.
Yeah.
Third down, everybody in the park knows that you're going to throw the football.
Rod Martin making the last tackle. Of course, impossibly you run to change up everybody, trying to catch him in a defense where they are going to have lighter backs and more of them thinking you're going to throw. But that's not necessarily. You only got to cover 14, 15 yards to the back edge of the end zone.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need any burners back there.
Right. You're at an advantage as a defensive back because you only have to cover in two directions, in and out. I mean, you've got the end line of the end zone to help you.
And San Diego calls for a timeout. And that stops the clock at 2:15. Now, this is decision-making time, and this is something you would see on a young ball club because normally you want to save those timeouts inside the 2 minutes if possible, unless you're controlling the clock on a drive to save them for a possible field goal.
What NFL record is that?
Tell you right after this.
Uh-oh.
Complete out of bounds. Lionel James, but out of bounds, 2:10. That stops the clock. Rod Martin makes a play. Now it is fourth down and goal to go. Milt McCall, just to finish that story, received his MD degree from Stanford in June, interning Valley Medical Center, San Jose. Of course, you know his dad, Dr. Bill McCall, tight end with the Bears, 52-59. When he is activated, they will become the first father-son combination to play in the National Football League as doctors after receiving their medical degrees. And by the way, his dad and mom are going to Korea for the Olympics and then to visit the countryside. They were medical missionaries there for a couple of years. Yes.
We had a motion penalty by David Richards, number 65, that will be declined on the part of the Raiders. I gave an because from up here you could see the defender Eddie Anderson gaining on Lionel James. It appeared for just a split second that the ball would be picked off.
Vince Abbott with a 23-yard field goal attempt. And they had whistle sound, and I mean we may have the 2-minute warning before. It's sitting right on 2 minutes. We thought it went through the uprights. Let's see what the holdup is because the whistle sounded, and now trainers are coming out.
That expired, so it's a 2-minute warning.
Trying to read the lips of Fred Silva. Boy, he's arriving at the 2-minute warning because there was a penalty that stops the clock.
Right. What the officials had said was that the ball was snapped after they had blown the whistle, signaling the 2-minute timeout. However, there was a penalty on the previous play, and the ball does not start until the snap of the ball, so I don't understand how the clock could be running.
On a decline penalty, I'm repeating this, on a decline penalty before the 2-minute warning.
They start the clock?
when the ball is marked ready for play?
So they start the clock when the ball is ready for play on decline penalty outside of 2 minutes. Now, that is a rule does not come up very often.
Particularly when it's only 1 second outside of 2 minutes.
And Al Saunders is still unsure of it either. Yeah. The official is trying to say, that's exactly what we do.
So the score is Los Angeles 7 and San Diego 3 at this point as Vince Abbott makes the 23-yard field goal.
He can smile because it really doesn't matter at this point. You're getting the field goal anyway. However, in another situation, if he misses the field goal, then you're going to have somebody running to the record book to make sure that's exactly the way it's stated.
All right. Mojinko kicking off with Brown and Woods as the return men. And here is Tim Brown to the 20, 25, 30, 35.
Forget it.
50 to go, and he's got it.
And he takes it away from Chris Woods, this is really Chris Woods' ball, but nobody's going to argue with him at this point. Watch him make people miss. All right, he's got a couple of holes, but there he makes people miss. And at this point, he's got Abbott on the run, even money, and you can forget about it because Tim Brown, one of the fastest people in the NFL.
97 yards. If there was any question, it has now been answered. And there were some, Heisman Trophy winner, do you take a wide receiver and a return man? There is why. Chris Barr adds the point after. The score, the Raiders 14, San Diego 3. 9 seconds between the field goal and the touchdown by Tim Brown.
What makes a good kick returner is his ability to slash. Not necessarily the best runner, but the most slashing runner. Watch Tim Brown do it continually. That's one. Another one back upfield as he gets breaking into the open, and that's Abbott trying to chase him downfield. And you can forget it because Tim Brown is in the 4-3 category as far as a 40-yard dash is concerned. Vince Abbott maybe in 5-3 category.
Are you ready for this? The last Raider return of a kickoff for a touchdown went 33 yards. You may say why? Why did it go 33? 2 or 3 onside kicks that failed, and then who was it? Derek Jensen, I believe, just picked up a quick 33 in.
How many years ago?
1980, 8 years ago. I was waiting for the message in my ear to answer that little question for you. And the Chargers returning this from the end zone by Anthony Miller. I don't know if that's a good gamble or not, but at any rate, he took it and is down shy of the 20-yard line as Eddie Anderson makes the tackle. Don't forget to join us at halftime. Bob, Ahmad, and Paul and Gail will be updating. They're going to spot the ball at the 14-yard line. So about 16 yards on the return. The longest kickoff return in Raider history is 104 yards. Ira Matthews, 1979, against San Diego. Chargers from their own 14. We had a little bit of excitement here in the waning moments of the first half. Laufenberg waited too late. He was out of bounds before he tried to avoid the loss. Now they're going to throw a flag. I'm curious as to what this call will be. Reggie McKenzie.
I am too, because
chasing him.
He was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds, so he can't be intentionally grounded.
Delay of game, maybe? We don't know.
I don't know. Did somebody hit him? Yeah, it can't be delay a game for throwing it out of bounds, can it?
Well, only because you're delaying the contest.
No, they just changed the ball.
Threw the ball away after he was out of bounds.
Okay.
Therefore, no foul.
See?
Second down.
Yes.
Absolutely right.
Hot dogs, we're right on top of that one. How are we doing with our rules? We're about 3 out of 4?
That's not so
bad.
we
missed that one. I didn't know that one.
I didn't either. That the clock starts if a penalty is declined outside of the 2 minutes. It's a good one to store away.
Yes. When we come back from the Olympics, we'll have it like it's ours. Everybody knows that. Well, now they're going to, is this an instant replay, a review of the instant replay? What do you want to do, make sure if he was out of bounds? I think that's what the call is. Also, in the meetings that we had in New York this week, Ray Scott had a good idea. The official should have a signal so that everyone in the stands, a PA announcer, television, everybody knows that they're reviewing the instant replay. Because it's kind of a guess. We think that's what they're doing.
That is a good point.
It's going to be second down and 16. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Well. Let's look at that again. He may have been airborne. That may be delay of game or intentional grounding.
He was airborne.
Yes, but had he stepped on the sideline before he was airborne? Indisputable evidence. Let's see. Can we look at that again? Another angle. This is a better angle. He is airborne. Oh, that's intentionally grounding.
He does aim it right into the ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good review. That's what the instant replay is for. And if they will penalize half the distance to the goal, which places it at the 7-yard line. McElroy going to the locker room. Now, I've got a question. He went out at the 8 with a penalty. The down goes over. Why not refuse the penalty? It was 2nd and 16 at the 8 where he went out. And now, am I right, it's going to be 1st and 17 from the 7? They've got it marked on the scoreboard as 2nd down and 17. That can't be a loss of a down. I think they forgot. Let's see. Did we get the wrong? Lionel James carries. Was that not the first play of the series?
No, it was not. Yes, it was.
It was the first play of the series, according to my notes. We got, all right.
See a replay official.
Inbounds, out of bounds, yeah. Minute 24. Time remaining. First half. Raiders 14, San Diego 3. Third down and 8. Third down and 13. 3 of 8 third down conversion. Flag is down. Laufenberg. Now, he had a receiver of about 10 yards deeper than that. But that's as much intentional grounding as the other.
He aimed it straight toward the ground in my book.
Yeah. Howie Long was chasing him, and that's why you aim it. Now, you can do that if you step back from center and then just ground it to stop the clock, but that doesn't apply here.
Holding.
We have a holding penalty. I believe it was Don Masick. I don't hear the official all that well, and they're going to refuse it, and it'll be 4th down.
The way the rule plays, Charlie, is that if he is in danger of being sacked, he cannot throw the ball into the ground. If there's no danger of him being pressured or sacked, he can throw the ball into the ground and stop the clock. Now,
Tim Brown, punt return. Not that long ago, he went 97 yards on a kickoff return. Moshenko has been punting well. Let's see what happens. Oh, good kick. Oh, he is kicking well. Back pedals to the 35. To the 40. About 6 yards on the return. So the Raiders have the ball with 1:04 left to go in the first half, and they have the lead 14-3. Randy Kirk making the tackle for San Diego. Here's the time remaining in the first half. And 54 yards on the kick, 6-yard return.
The Raiders with 2 timeouts can really run any kind of an offense they want. There's certainly enough time, 1:04 left, and 2 timeouts to run whatever type of offense they need to, including a draw, a screen. They're not necessarily confined just to the downfield pass.
Marcus Allen and Steve Smith back with the quarterback, Steve Furline. And it is incomplete. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Raiders and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Los Angeles Raiders, and the San Diego Chargers. All rights reserved. And don't you forget it, Cephalo.
I won't use it.
All rights reserved. All right. Second down at 10. Raiders at their own 42-yard line. All the time in the world. And throws back across the field. It is caught. James Lofton pulled it in. Gil Byrd touched him down, and a good pass would have been, you know, with Lofton's speed, if he could have turned it downfield, a possibility of 6, but he it's too strong.
Yeah, I don't think this is a design play. Let's find out what Lofton does. Usually the receiver on the other side will break across when the quarterback is rolling to his left. I don't know how in the world Berline got this all the way across the field, but it's a tremendous catch and a good throw on the part of Berline. That's one of the...
That's a hard throw back across the field, is it not?
And it's one of the no-nos. You never throw the ball back all the way across the field. Now, he got away with it that time, but I'm sure that someplace in a film, somebody's going to say to him, look, you got away with one, but don't throw the ball to the complete other side of the field that way, because you have a bad angle looking at defensive backs breaking across, and that ball, most times, is intercepted.
And if it is strung out like that,
that's 6.
It's quick 6.
Yep.
Berline has completed 5 of 13 for 73 yards. We have 40 seconds left to go in the first half. The Raiders with the ball at the San Diego 43-yard line.
Now they've got just the 1 timeout left, and they should hang on to that to kick a field goal. And here they really did reduce their selection to passing attack. They have to keep that 1 timeout in order to try and get a field goal team on the field.
It is incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And that was the same play that they completed the pass across the field to Lofton. They ran it 2 times in a row.
Roy Bennett with the coverage.
Brown taking too many steps trying to break back to the quarterback. Good coverage on the part of the defensive backs, on the part of the...
Explain that, too many steps.
Too many steps. When you come out of a break, you've got to take a break and come back out as quickly as you can. He chopped for maybe 3 or 4 yards. The defensive back has an opportunity to react and come back and get in the way of the pass.
2nd and 10.
That was Roy Bennett, by the way, on defense for the Chargers.
Marcus Allen incomplete. Patterson with the coverage. 3rd down and 10. See, the line of scrimmage is the 43. That'd be from the 60-yard field goal attempt. I'm not sure that Chris Barr. He doesn't have that kind of range.
No, he doesn't.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. If the clock is running down, you might take it with a couple of seconds if you get it there, and go for that gamble.
Yeah, it's worth the gamble. But Chris Barr, I don't believe has that kind of. He's very accurate.
I'm not sure who does have 60 yards.
Not very many people. Tom Dempsey.
Yeah, that's true.
That's about it.
63. But a lot have it when they don't have to go 60 yards. I mean, a lot. You know, if it's a 45-yard kick, we'll nail it by another 15. But this pass is incomplete to Todd Christensen. So it is 4th down and 10. Leonard Coleman with the coverage on time. And Berline comes out. And Jeff Gossett goes in, and so he'll be punting. It'd have been exciting, though. I wish they would have tried it. Lionel James is the return man. 25 seconds left. First half. That's a good kick. Straight up and straight down. Inside the 20. Kicks back out to the 20. Down at that point by Steve Smith. Vance Mueller also there. Smith down the ball. Exactly what they wanted to do. And San Diego will have 13 seconds now to see if they can get something going. That punt good for only 23 yards statistically, and that's the reason that some of the statistics can be deceiving.
That's true. It's a perfect punt in that situation. As you mentioned, high up and high down. Little chance for a return, and a lot of chances for a fumble on the part of a return man.
Raiders looking for the pass, and San Diego says, no, we'll just run out the clock. Let's not take any chances and have somebody pick it off and return it. So we'll take the countdown and go to the locker room here at halftime. Marcus Allen scoring from 10 yards out. Vince Abbott for San Diego with a 23-yard field goal. And then Tim Brown electrifying the crowd in the Coliseum with a 97-yard kickoff return. So at halftime, The score in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the temperature just under 120 degrees. Raiders lead it 14-3.
He's starting to get a reputation around the NFL, even after just one half of his first football game in the NFL.
And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. It is bobbled by Miller and then picked up. And he's out to the 30, the 40. And then is bumped out of bounds. And sometimes, you know, when you bounce a ball a couple of times, it changes up the coverage coming downfield. Chris Barr, the kicker, finally got to him. It turns out to be a pretty good return of 46 yards. Here's another look.
Yeah, you're right. When the ball hits the ground, people coming down in their lanes usually move out of their lanes because they think they want to go to the football, and that's a mistake. They've got to stay in their lanes because they can't control the football from that distance. But he's got great speed, Anthony Miller does, and I like Chris Barr. Look at that. That was a takedown, I'll tell you. That wasn't a tackle. That was a takedown.
So San Diego, from their own 49-yard line, opens the second half. Rod Bernstein showing motion as the H-back. Offenberg showing motion as a scrambling quarterback. And now he goes out of bounds and then is hit. Now they can throw a flag if they want to.
And they did.
Lyndon King, yes. Well, once you get outside into that wide area, that's the reason that big, wide, white area is around the field in professional football, so that you know when you're out of bounds.
This was not a designed rollout. He was flushed out of the pocket, but take a look at it. He is a full yard out of bounds when Lyndon King comes over for the hit.
And so the Raiders open up with a 15-yard penalty. Lyndon King formally with the Chargers from 81 to 85. And so the excellent kickoff return, and now the penalty takes the ball to the Los Angeles 35-yard line. Anderson, the remaining back. Anderson gets the call. A couple of yards, maybe three. Give him two to the 33. And it'll be second down and 8. Matt Millen with the tackle.
This kind of running attack is really causing problems for the overall offense of the Chargers. It's tough enough to have a brand new quarterback in Babe Laufenberg. It's more difficult when you can't establish any type of a running game.
What does it do to the linebackers of the Raiders? Now they're all in their 30s. They've got 42 years of experience between the four of them. They got to start getting tired.
Yeah, as you get older, you get tired a little quicker, Charlie. I think it applies to announcers and football players.
No great one. Bernstein in motion. Here's Anderson to the outside. Makes a good move. Oh, a couple of good moves downfield. Now that is, to the 22-yard line, 11 yards. Now that is what the Chargers look for from him. And they really haven't, over the years, the 3 years previous, they haven't gotten that as many times as they would like.
No, this is the first time he's gotten outside, and it wasn't a designed outside play. He was trying to break off tackle, but when the formation crushed in, he moved to the outside. But Gary Anderson is one of the best open field runners in the NFL, and I can't understand why they don't get the ball to him on swing passes, on sweeps. Get him outside and
get him do that open field.
Yeah, let him do what he does best.
22-yard line, first down. Play action fake to hold the linebackers. The pass is complete to Anthony Miller. And Haynes was right there. Good defensive play. It'll pick up a couple of yards. See where they're going to spot it. They're going to spot at the point of the reception, which is the 17-yard line. So better than that. It's a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5. Take a look at the 10-minute ticker, Jim. Shoots 48 yards for San Diego. Second and 5 at the 17. Here's Anderson. Thirteen-yard line. So it's going to be third down and 1. Eddie Anderson, no relation, makes the tackle.
Let's see where Anderson goes. The Bernstein number 82 working downfield. And a lot of people working out. That's a massive humanity that Anderson gets caught behind. Also, number 68, Gary Kowalski, left side tackle, was pushing the pile. But that's good movement, though. That's what the Chargers need to do more of. That's the first time I've seen all day where they're moving the pile down.
Last year's rushing offense, very unimpressive. Third down and 1. Anderson has the first down, 3 yards to the 10. So he now has 12 carries for 36 yards, 2 receptions for 12. So we're still looking for the big play. And, the biggest gainer was what, 9 yards, 11 yards, somewhere in that territory. But they look for him to bust some big plays.
All right, they want him to be the big play man, but they don't give him the opportunity to be the big play.
How do you give him the opportunity? How do you set that up?
I think you use him in more swing passes. I think you use more delays with him. He's a slashing type of runner, a lot of off-tackle plays. And we haven't seen that opportunity this far.
We've got whistles and flags. And usually this is a false start with the offensive line. That's an automatic call. You don't have options.
False start
That's
on the center. Will be 5 yards. Still first down.
Still first down. But the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
The Raiders complained this week about Don Masick to the league office. They claim he puts 2 hands on the football when he comes out over it, and then takes 1 hand away before he snaps the ball. We can take a look at it and find out if he's continuing to do that. But Malcolm Taylor yesterday in practice said to me, we complained to the league office. Is that a second hand? Yeah, it looks like it. It's tough to tell from this hand.
First down at the 15, and a sack for the Raiders. Howie Long has the second sack for Los Angeles. Greg Townsend got the first one in the first half.
And no one touched Howie Long that time. He's playing over the rookie, David Richards, a big rookie, 6'4½", 310 pounds. But it was one of the concerns of the Chargers coming in today. And that time, Long got no help at all. There you see number 65, Richards, completely out of the position. And Howie Long gets an easy sack.
Is that a matador block, Olay, as they go by?
Well, that's a lookout block.
Look out!
That's right.
Second down, goal to go. They were at the 10. Now they're at the 22. Second and 21. Second and 22. It's a long way. It's Eric Sievers, the motion man. Offenberg running. It looks to me as if it is a run play all the way.
No, you said no. That was the old Utah draw. Take a look at Lionel James. He's running right along with Laufenberg. He was going to make that quick pitch to him.
All right, first we go back and see what the center was doing, Don Masick.
Both hands on the ball, but he leaves both there. Oh, no, he pulled one away, guys. That's what they've been complaining about.
If he pulls it away nice and easy like that, it's okay. If you pull it away quick, then they're trying to pull him offside.
Now you see
Utah draw?
Right, Lionel James running along him. That's that shovel pass called the old Utah draw. He was going to shuffle it inside, but he saw the open area, and really a defensive back got up in front of him, was not able to make the pitch.
Laufenberg, 4 carries, 10 yards rushing. Why do I have the impression this is also a called running play?
That's a pure draw on the part of Laufenberg. The quarterback draw, the best place to call it is inside the 10-yard line.
And he comes up limping.
He sure does.
Townsend got him. Now Mark Malone is the backup quarterback. And Laufenberg being assisted out. Mark Vlasic not suited up. As you know, it's 45-man squad plus 2, 47 during the week. You cut 2 just for the game. And Vlasic was one of the 2, so Mark Malone is the other quarterback. But right now we'll go with the field goal attempt from 23 yards away, from 23-yard line. An attempt of 33 yards by Vince Abbott. And it is good. So Abbott now has hit twice from 23 and 33 yards away. Raiders 14, Chargers 6. This is Charlie Jones and Jimmy Cephalo as Vince Abbott of San Diego kicking off with Tim Brown and Chris Woods. The deep backs on the return, and Tim Brown, of course, with a 97-yard kickoff return earlier in the ball game. And he takes it a yard deep, and he's going to try it again. He's going for 101. He's to the 10, and that's it. 15 yards on the return to the Los Angeles 14-yard line. The report on Laufenberg, a cramp in his right calf. Just a cramp, so he's expected to return. Pat Miller making the tackle for San Diego. Raiders 14, Chargers 6. Marcus Allen from 10 yards out. Tim Brown, that 97-yard kickoff return for San Diego. Vince Abbott with a pair of field goals of 23 and 33 yards. And we have just over 8.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Marcus Allen continues to shoulder the offense for Los Angeles, and Lee Williams carries the defense.
Getting back to this Raider offensive line, while some think it is as good a line potentially as the Raiders have ever had, Marcus Allen loves to run behind it. They have given up 117 sacks over the past 2 years. Now that is an awful lot of sacks, and was one of the question marks they had coming in. What they did was to put Jim Lachey in a trade with the San Diego Chargers at the left side tackle, and he has really shored up this offensive line.
Marcus Allen wide to the far side. The pass comes back to Lofton on this side. It is complete, and Elvis Patterson drops him immediately. They're going to mark at the 25-yard line. And that's going to be the first down.
Marcus Allen lined up as a wide receiver. Good move out there against the linebacker, though. That's not fair, Marcus. You can't make those guys look bad too often.
That's David Brandon with the coverage. And that's the kind of a mismatch that you want, though.
Yeah,
you get a little more
do.
time.
Let's see if they go back to it now. They found out they had a linebacker on them. Will they go to the same formation?
You know, Marcus will tell them. I was open. I was open.
All receivers are always open.
Of course. Marcus now the eye back. Marcus for 3 yards to the 28-yard line. Second down and 7. Chuck Fawcett with the tackle. Let's check the 10-minute ticker. Seattle finished near the bottom in the West, but one never knows what happens over the 16-game season. Get a little momentum and can do some interesting things. And we got flags everywhere, yes.
72, offense. False start.
And Don Mosbar, second time in the ballgame that he's been called for a false start. The first time was early in the first quarter. Takes the ball back to the 23. Second down and 12.
Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, is known for his blitzing team. They've not blitzed a great deal this afternoon thus far, but they're going to have to if their offense continues to sputter.
Todd Christensen in motion. Furline with pretty good protection goes deep, and a one-hopper incomplete to Tim Brown. Vincey Glenn was the man picking him up in the secondary for San Diego, so it's going to be third down and 12.
Let's see what kind of a pattern runner Tim Brown is. We already know what he can do as a return man. He has tremendous speed. Elvis Patterson giving him enough room, and he turns Elvis Patterson around.
And he's open.
Yeah, he certainly is. See, Elvis Patterson, concerned with his speed, turned that right shoulder toward the field. As soon as that happens, Tim Brown makes the break, and he was open. Berline simply didn't hit him. Good pattern.
Fernandez wide to the far side. Todd Christensen is open on the far side. Brown and Lofton, two speedsters on the near side. And a blitz coming. Out of the backfield, incomplete to Marcus Allen. Keith Browner was picking him up, and it'll be fourth down and 12. Rumors, of course, still circulating through the press box in here at the Coliseum in regard to the possibility of a Raider trade for Schrader. Jay Schrader, one of the quarterbacks of the Washington Redskins, and Jim Lachey and draft choices, another one of the rumors. Pressure, and he barely gets it away. Almost blocked. Fair catch. Taken at the 35-yard line. Oh, San Diego almost got to Jeff Gossett. A 42-yard kick. Here it is.
Does he get piece of the ball? Yeah, he sure does, and part of the foot as well. That's why he was able to get away with hitting the kicker.
Vincey Glenn. Problem, he has completed 8 of 17 for 92 yards, suffered an interception as he goes to work at the San Diego 35-yard line. Play action fake. Here's the reverse. That's Quinn Early. Big play for San Diego.
Yeah, and it's the first time they've shown any misdirection today in that commercial break, Charlie. We were just talking about it. They seem to be so conservative today, and no misdirection whatsoever. Not a reverse or anything, but here they come right with it. The good fake to Anderson, the play they've been running most of the day, that fooled a lot of the defense. And as opposed to the reverse the Raiders ran, no one stayed at home this time for the Raiders on defense, and that's what allowed Quinn Early to get around the corner.
37 yards on the reverse to the 28-yard line of Los Angeles, first down. Early comes in motion wide to the near side. Little play action fake. Pass is complete to Early. And he is spun down at the 22-yard line. Mike Haynes makes the play. Gain of 6.
Now, he's got to be tired. You know, he just ran down the field on the reverse. Very active. Fakes one way across the field. Mike Haynes is on the other side having to mirror exactly what he does. Now, they've run this play twice. The quick hitch out to him. Watch for them to try the fake of the quick hitch, Mike Haynes with the tackle, and to go downfield to try to get Mike Haynes to bite on that hitch and then throw it downfield.
Here's Anderson. 19-yard line as he comes up the middle for 3. So it's going to be 3rd down. A yard, maybe a half yard for the first down. Let's see where they spot the ball. Matt Millen and Stacy Turan make the tackle. Just inside the 19. So it's 3rd down and 1.
Well, they told us Babe Laufenberg was tough and that he likes to mix it up. He's shown it today. He's run the ball quite a few times. A couple of quarterback draws. Been knocked out of the game with the slide injury, but he's back and seems to be healthy again.
3rd and 1. Here's Anderson. I don't think he made it. San Diego may have to settle for a 3rd field goal attempt. Howie Long and Jerry Robinson with the stop.
I think if it is 4th down, I think you go for it in this situation.
Go for it here?
Well, this is
got a lot of time. You've got 3:33 left to go in the 3rd.
Exactly, but their offense is not showing any spark.
6 and 7 is 13, though. So you get another. You're gonna need if you're going to win, you need a field goal somewhere.
You do, but you don't know if you're going to get this close at all. They've got to.
Well, if you don't, you're not going to win it anyway.
They've got to instill some, and you're an inch away. I think you go for it. Come on, this is a young football team. You're going to try to instill some confidence in them. You got to go after it. It's a young offensive line. If you don't have the confidence to go after it with an inch to go, with a young offensive line, they're going to turn around and say, hey, why don't you just kick a field goal all the time?
Do you go with Laufenberg on a quarterback sneak, or do you go to Tim Spencer?
No. Just give it to Laufenberg on a quarterback sneak. If you can't make an inch in this league, you don't deserve to win anyway. Don't worry about it.
You mean if the Raiders hold, the game is over?
No, I'm saying if you can't make an inch, you don't deserve to win. I don't say you're not going to.
Anderson, 14 carries, 38 yards. Goes over the right side of the center. He's got it. There's a gap there. That's too long a call for a quarterback sneak. No, it didn't. Quarterback little delay. He picked up a yard. Oh, yeah, he's got it easy. He's got it easy. Usually, though, don't you go on a quick snap on that, quick count?
I would. I mean, there's too many chances of somebody on your own side moving.
Sure.
Well, if you have a long count, usually you are trying to pull them off. But they weren't because they snapped the football before the whistle was blown.
It ends up at the 17-yard line, so he picked up a couple of yards on the play. And the first down. And we've got 2:39 and counting. Time remaining, 3rd quarter. Raiders lead it 14-6. Laufenberg, 6 carries, rushing 9 yards, passing for 98, 50%, completing 9 of 18. He's been intercepted 1 time. Bernstein in motion. Play action fake. Townsend chases him. He's throwing this away. That's a good play.
Yep.
He's avoiding the loss. Bernstein was in the neighborhood, and he's just throwing it away, and that's okay.
Right, we've got a flag down, though, Charlie, and I think Don Masek wandered downfield a little bit, and it seems that's where the flag was thrown.
Greg Townsend was the man chasing Laufenberg. Fred Silva talking with Jerry Robinson.
Offense, number 62. Illegal, downfield, 10 yards, still first down.
You're right. So we're bringing it out to the 27-yard line, and it'll be first down and 20. In this quarter, in the 3rd quarter, San Diego has 5 first downs to the Raiders 1. That's just in this quarter. In the game, the Raiders have 11 and San Diego 9. So in the first half, the Raiders had 10 first downs and San Diego 4. So it's been more Chargers here in the third quarter.
You're right.
Glad you agree. You have that strange look on your face, like you're going to say, no, that's incorrect. Here's a screen. And the pass is complete, but good defensive play. Anderson caught it. Jerry Robinson makes the play. In addition, there was pressure on Laufenberg. He had to throw sooner than he wanted to, but Robinson was just playing in the woods waiting for that one.
The problem is this is man-to-man coverage. You can't run a screen. You got man-to-man coverage because you're trying to fool a defense. Robinson is mirroring Gary Anderson. You have to run, and there he comes in to make the tackle. You have to run a screen when you know you're going to get a zone defense. If you don't get the zone, the quarterback, Laufenberg, should have audibled out of it and thrown something else.
It will be 2nd down and 30. You've used the word mirroring from a defensive standpoint. Explain it in detail.
Okay, as soon as just the defense takes every step that the offensive player takes. As he's going across the formation, a defensive back is mirroring him, running across the formation with him.
It's all falling apart for San Diego. Laufenberg goes down. Townsend got it. His second sack. Third for the Raiders. It's falling apart here. Let's see what's happening across the NFL. So it's 1st and 10 at the 17. 3rd and 36 at the 43. Here comes pressure, and Laufenberg is sacked. He lost his footing, but nobody touched Scott Davis, the #1 draft choice out of Illinois. That is 4 sacks for the Raiders. Of course, also in 2nd and 30 and 3rd and 36, everybody can count.
Right, and but the Raiders did it there with a 4-man front. Take a look at them. You've got McKelly, you got Howie Long, you have the rookie Scott Davis, Greg Townsend, I think, was in there. And that's it. There aren't any blitzes going on. But you're right, Charlie, when everybody knows that you got to throw the football, you can stick your ears back and rush as hard as you can with 4 people.
Tim Brown set for the return. Mojinko off the side of his foot. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 16-yard line. Maybe the 17, though, spotted. We've got 24 seconds left in the third, and we've got a timeout. And the Raiders lead the Chargers. Los Angeles with the lead 14-6, and with the football just outside their own 16-yard line. Officially, they'll call it the 17-yard line. Todd Christensen in motion. Marcus Allen. Good defensive play. And this was Keith Browner who makes the play. It'll go for a loss of 3 to the 14. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Keith Browner played for these Raiders a year ago. He was a replacement player for him, however, released and went over to San Diego as a free agent, getting a chance to start because Chip Banks is not in uniform for San Diego.
Gun sounds. That is the end of the third quarter with the score. Raiders will be coming in the ball game. Babe Laufenberg, cramps in the calf bothering him again. That's part of the story of the heat.
Yeah, it is. In this kind of heat, players have to take as much liquid as they can, and cramps are very common in this kind of heat.
Berline's pass is complete at the 19-yard line. They may mark it to the 20. That is James Lofton who caught it. Gil Bird makes the tackle. Gain of 6, so it will be 3rd down and 7. And we also report that Warren Moon, quarterback for Houston, is out in that ball game against Indianapolis, and that Bernie Kosar, the quarterback of Cleveland, has been sidelined in the game at Kansas City. There's a look at the numbers through 3 quarters.
Yeah, Warren Moon with a bruised shoulder and Bernie Kosar with a sprained elbow. So we'll try to develop those stories for you as we get more information.
And these numbers pretty close.
Yeah, they are. San Diego's made a great rebound in the third quarter. There you have offensively have shown more spark than the Raiders here in the third.
Todd Christensen has the first down.
Berline took a shot, and he is slow getting up. Blitz that time.
Let's check the 10-minute ticker as Berline comes up limping. Leonard Coleman made the defensive play. Seattle continues to lead Denver. Cleveland, Kansas City. Time of possession in the third quarter. San Diego way out in front, as you saw from those numbers. 11:43 to Raiders just 3:17. Marcus Allen and Keith Browner for San Diego. 5 yards to the 34. 2nd down and 5. I think Marcus is going to deserve about 3 days off this week.
Yeah, I think you will.
Here's Marcus Allen. And he's pulled down just shy of the 40-yard line, but he picks up the first down. Lee Williams got a piece of the jersey.
Jim Lachey, the man we've been talking about quite often, came over in the trade to the Raiders. There he is, number 74, the pulling from the offside. Let's see what he gets done this time. He's trying to work on one of the defensive linemen for the Chargers. A little pushing going along. So, hey, they used to be teammates, too.
That was Joe Fellow. He
Right.
pushing.
They used to be teammates, but that's all forgotten.
And according to rumors, Lachey, after this ball game, may well move to the Washington Redskins as part of a trade. That's all still speculation. As Marcus Allen carries for 5, it'll be 2nd down and 5. Tyrone Keys makes the tackle. And the question,
right?
The Raiders play Monday night.
That's right. Kenneth Roy Edmondson, our producer, asked the question, will number 74, Jim Lachey, as we look at him, play tomorrow night if the trade is consummated, working against Martin Bayless and doing a good job of it, too.
Sure. He can play.
Why
if
not?
the trade is consummated tonight.
Would he set a record for playing in the most football games in 1 week
Well,
by an NFL player?
Maybe the most paychecks on a weekend.
I wonder if he gets 2 checks. Let's ask that question.
Yeah, you get a game check.
Right. Some of those contracts say you get 16 checks.
I don't know. Well, you would know about those things. 2nd down and 6 officially at the 44-yard line.
Oh, they got man coverage.
Todd Christensen pulls it down. Browner makes the tackle to mismatch the tight end, one of the great receivers in the National Football League, and the linebacker.
Yeah, and you know how they got it? Marcus Allen was also flanked out there going in motion, and he had man-to-man coverage on the outside. They had to worry about him. Remember, we said earlier, Marcus Allen was getting man-to-man coverage with a linebacker. Well, this time he wound up with a defensive back, but he opened up a hole for Christensen, who gets into the seam beyond the defensive linebacker and makes the catch. That was Keith Browner, number 57, trying to make the tackle.
Vance Mueller now in replacing Marcus Allen, so he'll get a bit of a breather here. Steve Smith is the fullback. Allen at this point 22 carries, 77 yards rushing, and a touchdown. That's in addition to everything else. And here's Steve Smith. And we've got flags down. Vincey Glenn with the tackle, and now Smith's going to be ejected. He's got to be ejected. You can't come up swinging regardless of what they did, because the second man is the one that's going to be thrown out. What's the fine for being ejected? $100?
I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a set fine for being ejected. I think it's usually decided by the commissioner. Let's see what happens. He's thrown down late, but you're right, Charlie. He has to have enough presence of mind. Martin Bayless is the one who tosses him down late. A whole host of people do. Yeah. See, that's
thrown down.
But
yeah.
boom, no, you can't do that.
No. That's 2, 3. Oh.
And the problem is, you know,
you got 4 straight right hands to the mask. You hurt yourself too.
This is the problem. You get an offsetting penalty when you do that too. See, if he gets thrown down, he helps his team. He gets 15 yards. That's the greatest revenge. Yeah. You got to forget about the pride and don't throw that right arm.
We have multiple fouls. We have defense, unnecessary roughness. We have offense, number 35, unnecessary roughness. We'll have a replay.
And no ejection? Oh, you're kidding me.
I think when you swing, you got to get ejected.
I do too.
That's my opinion.
Oh, yeah. That's automatic. Come on. You got to throw him out. No, you got to. The old offsetting penalty. I'm surprised about that. I really am.
Yeah, I am too. You know, he's a Penn Stater, okay? And let me tell you a story, though. I'm working up to his story.
Oh, okay.
Joe Paterno was
For
always...
those of you that don't realize, Jim Cefalo was also a Penn Stater.
Always a great teacher about...
Did he tell it before the snap?
Let somebody throw a punch at you and then just lay there because you help your football team. Obviously, he forgot that when he put on the black and silver of the Raiders.
Marcus Allen back in the ballgame. Burr might take a shot. Whew. Was that David Brandon that hit him? I believe it was, yes.
Indecision leads to a sore mouth. That's what happens here. He wasn't sure. He really did have Todd Christensen, who was fairly wide open. That's who he's pumping the ball to. And he gets those nervous feet sitting in the pocket. Couldn't decide where he wanted to go, and he took a shot up high.
Yes. And that's almost a flag, too, going a shot up there.
Yeah, well, you know, if you'd hit him square on, it might have. He looked like he...
a glancing blow.
Yeah, it was a glancing blow that was not intended for the head.
The old glancing blow. 2nd down and 8, a double tight end set. Flags are down. Brown is down. He lost his footing. The turf here, not the cleats are too long or too short. There's a lot of slipping and sliding.
Yeah, this has never been one of the better turfs in the NFL.
Roy Bennett had the coverage.
75, defense lining up in the neutral zone. Decline, first down.
That's Joe Phillips. Lined up in the neutral zone.
That time Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers, decided to come with the blitz. Vincey Glenn was coming hard and fast, but the Raiders beat it. Berline with a nice throw to Tim Brown in the flat. But Lynn likes that kind of a defense. You're going to see a lot more blitzing, especially as they get inside the 20-yard line here.
Gain of 12 to the 22. Raiders lead it 14-6. 9:52 left to go in the ball game. Marcus Allen, a yard to the 21. Second down and 9. Gilbert was there for San Diego. Chuck Fawcett was also there. Marcus Allen, 24 carries, 82 yards. That's just rushing. 24 carries in the heat. Incomplete. Steve Smith, the intended receiver. Week 1 headliners: Neil Anderson, 123 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, the Bears over Miami. Eddie Brown, 6 receptions, 143 yards, Cincinnati over Phoenix. Thurman Thomas, 86 yards rushing and a touchdown, Buffalo over Minnesota, 13-10. Vinny Testaverde, 5 interceptions, Eagles over the Bucks, 41-14. Berline has completed 10 of 24 for 129. One of the Raiderettes went down in the heat and now is on a gurney being assisted from the sidelines. Todd Christensen to the 9-yard line. Gain of 12, and he'll have the first down. Pat Miller makes the tackle. And there is one of the Raiderettes that we were talking about. So the heat taking its toll everywhere today.
Somebody blows a coverage here, Charlie, I'll tell you, because there's no blitz on, and yet Todd Christensen is wide open coming across the middle. That's Pat Miller, number 48, trying to get over there, but much too late. Christensen's a good possession receiver, but he doesn't beat many people by 5 yards in his short zone.
First down, goal to go, just inside the 10-yard line. Here's Marcus. Has 3 to the 7. And it's second down, goal to go. Carl Wilson and Gil Bird with the tackle. Missing Todd Christensen. You know, interesting, we've talked about the possibility of the trade and the rumors and all that, and the reaction of the quarterback, Steve Berline, this being his first start in the National Football League. He said, that's all right. You'll have to beat me out.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude.
That is a great attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, he's earned the number 1
He's the starting
spot.
quarterback. That's right.
Until somebody's better, he's number 1.
This is the 15th play of this drive that started back at the Los Angeles 17-yard line.
By the way, a year ago, the Raiders were impressed with Berline in his camp, but he was injured during the season, put on IR all year, and had to wait for this opportunity to get a starting spot.
But Rusty Hilger and Mark Wilson, who were the quarterbacks last year, along with Evans, they're no longer with the ball club. Evans is the backup. Berline's pass. Oh, Loftus drops it. Woo. Oh, James. James. Don't do that to me, James. You know, always a quarterback. You've got to be thinking that as a young quarterback, we've got the touchdown.
First NFL touchdown pass.
Yes,
yeah, he was thinking about it, especially to James Lofton. And this was too good of a right. I mean, you can't excuse around it. James is one of the premier receivers in NFL history. He's 10th on the all-time list, as a matter of fact.
So you'll settle for the 25-yard field goal attempt Jeff Gossett to hold, Chris Barr to attempt. And it's good. From 25 yards out. And so the score is now the Raiders 17, the Chargers 6. We'll be back with the kickoff. Chris Barr kicking off. And that is Anthony Miller. And he returns near the 20-yard line. We've got flags down. That last drive of the Raiders, 16 plays, 77 yards, leading the 25-yard field goal, consumed 8 minutes of playing time. So that is just as important as a surprise. We were told that Malone would be coming in, but Laufenberg is going to stay in. The report that we had was the cramps were still bothering even more in the calf.
Al Saunders called him the Davy Crockett of the Chargers. Exactly what that means, I'm not sure. Maybe it means that he's leading them once again to charge over the hill.
It means he wears funny hats. Nick Cannon of the San Diego Tribune calls him the Bambino.
I like it. Real name of Brandon Laufenberg.
And with the flags, we're going to do this again.
Yeah. But it says something about his character. Being cut 7 times in the NFL and still coming back.
So we will have the re-kick. And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Why are they re-kicking from the 35?
Okay.
I don't know. But maybe you knew and weren't going to tell me.
Why are they re-kicking from 35, Charlie?
I don't know. If I knew, I would have. Offsetting penalties. It's that, again, we've had the offsetting penalties.
No, we've had trouble also hearing the referee on the field. That's probably why we didn't kick it.
Jamie Holland on the return. And he returns to the 22-yard line. Reggie McKenzie makes the tackle. And San Diego has possession at their own 22-yard line, trailing 17-6. They're down by 11 points. 7 minutes to go. In the crowd, in-house, 39,029. Issued tickets 45,000, so that means 6,000 plus no shows.
That's a lot of people.
We went to the beach. Here's that little shovel pass underneath. Lionel James. The Utah draw for the first down. That's the Utah draw.
That's the Utah draw.
Why is it called the Utah draw?
I think because Frank Layton invented it when he was at Utah.
It's a great name.
Isn't it great?
Utah draw. Sounds like fast gun.
The old shovel pass. You know, the trap for that, as a fan, when you see the ball sometimes hit the ground because it's an incorrect toss, they think fumble, but that's actually a forward pass, even though it's thrown with that little pitch motion. It is a forward pass and not a fumble. Very safe play. Good one on first down.
First down at the 35-yard line. And it is caught. Lionel James with the reception, and suddenly the Chargers have an explosive offense.
Well, this is the same thing Laufenberg did early on. Remember, he showed a couple of very good tosses. Here's another one of the pinpoint perfection in between the two defenders, and a nice catch on the part of Little Train James at 5'6½", showing he's got some leaping ability. He says he can dunk a basketball a la Spud Webb. He says if he was 6'2", he'd be playing basketball instead of football.
31 yards on the play. 34-yard line of Los Angeles. First down, San Diego. Early. 30-yard line. Gain of 4, second down and 6. We mentioned earlier, as you look at early, that we'll be leading the World Series on NBC. So let's see what's happening. Mets and Dodgers rained out. Incomplete. Miller, the intended receiver. We've got a flag down. We've got a lot of flags today, haven't we?
Yeah, we certainly have.
Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It'll be second down and about a yard to go for the first down, as the penalty will take the ball to the 25. And he spotted at the 24. And that's going to be a first down. Laufenberg 13 of 22, 147 yards and an interception.
Darren Flutie.
Good defensive play. Good defensive play. That was Terry McDaniel, the rookie, #1 draft choice from Tennessee. 4.38 speed. Just pinned him against the sideline. Had perfect position on him. All the Raiders love him. Some of the ball players say we wish he wouldn't wear the high-top shoes.
And Darren Flutie made a nice out move to the sideline and then back up the field, but he ran out of room. As you mentioned, though, Charlie, a nice play on the part of McDaniel with that great speed. He doesn't have to worry about the inline of the end zone.
Seattle comfortably in front of Denver. Cleveland, Kansas City still tied. 17-6. Raiders here. San Diego threatening. How much time do we have? 4:55. It's a factor now. Here comes a blitz. Stacy Turan. Tipped. Can be intercepted. It is. Turan set it up with the blitz. Inexperienced at Laufenberg. You cannot afford to do that. You're throwing it away.
But I think they're going to say that he was in the grasp and control, and so
has to be grasp and control.
Right.
Grasp and control, Paul. Right here. Third down.
Semantics.
yeah, they are. They're going to say he was grasped and controlled, so the pass never took place, and they will get another shot. There's where the play really does help. Grasp.
I think that was more grasp than control.
It's a subjective view, isn't it?
Yes. Well, we get a vote, don't we?
We sure do. Clear shot. But that's another case. Laufenberg, with his youth and inexperience, has got to check out of that play because the defender has a clear shot. Stacy Turan right in top of him.
Officially, the Raiders with 4 sacks, 32 yards.
Turan saying he was down because he wants the sack.
He wants the sack.
He wants the sack. Never mind, we got the ball. He wants the sack.
Oh, that's funny. Laufenberg. Pass is complete at the 25-yard line. And that's Jamie Holland. Is that Jamie? Yes.
Well, Kimosabe, I think they got to go for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a field goal doesn't help at all here, does it?
No. No, you're down by 11. And it's 4th down and 10 at the 24. 3:43 and counting time remaining. Rosado is the sitter. Into double coverage.
Oh,
It's a touchdown. Jamie Holland. And that was triple coverage.
Yeah, big league throw and catch.
Oh, yes. And Laufenberg has his first touchdown pass to the National Football League.
Holland has been called the most improved player on this team by Al Saunders, and maybe this is why. You're right. He does toss it into coverage and with some pressure on him. Laufenberg goes down. Was a bit slow getting it, but watch the catch.
But look at that coverage. He had people everybody.
Yeah, they did,
everybody.
and it's a tremendous leap, and he's doing it against Mike Haynes, one of the most experienced cornerbacks ever to play football here. Jamie Holland. Maybe Al Saunders was right when he called him the most improved player on this team.
With the extra point, it's the Raiders 17 and the Chargers 13 with 3:25 left to go in the ball game, and we'll be back in just. Vince Abbott kicking off with Brown and Woods, the two deep backs, and this one's going to sail through the end zone for the touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. That touchdown concern used almost 4 minutes. 3:59, 7 plays, 78 yards. Holland's second reception. Laufenberg's first touchdown pass in the NFL. Back in you've got a baseball final?
Yeah, Red Sox fans will be happy. The Red Sox won this afternoon. 6-5. Who'd they play? California. They beat California.
California fans aren't that happy. Marcus Allen for a yard to the 21.
And so now the Red Sox are tied in the East with the Tigers, who were beaten this afternoon by Milwaukee.
Bayless with the tackle. And Raiders now will keep that clock moving on the 3-minute mark. Time remaining in the game. Gretchen Meyer, Chuck Panama, our spotters, and Otako, our statistician. Thank you all. Gretchen is leaving for Hawaii. Aloha. See how versatile I am in other languages. Wait till you hear us from Korea.
I want to hear your Korean now.
Not too good. I'm still working on hello or good afternoon or one of those. I've got it written down phonetically.
Thank you is as far as I go.
Using all of the clock as possible. I'm surprised. Throwing pass complete. Tim Brown. Second big play of the game that he has made. Patterson finally got him. In the first half, the 97-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised, too. But what we said before, he makes the first person miss just about all the time. That's how he turns this. He turns a 15-yard gain here into a big play because he makes somebody miss. That's Gilbert, who slips down, granted, but he gets back up and one person miss, another one misses, and he's upfield. He turns a 15-yard gain into a 30-yard gain just because he can have that slashing ability to make one person miss.
2-minute warning will be given to both benches. We've got a timeout. We'll be back to the Coliseum. Trade rumors still abound that the Raiders will be trading for a quarterback for Jay Schrader of the Washington Redskins. Berline, 12 of 27. He's thrown for 170 yards. One of the men mentioned, Jim Lachey, of course, mentioned as a possibility, and Tim Brown has 2 receptions for 42 yards and a 97-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
I don't
think one of the names is mentioned.
Yeah, and I don't think that I think there's going to be a share of LA fans who are going to be very disappointed if Tim Brown is involved in that trade. Yeah, the Raiders have been talking about getting a quarterback with some experience for some time. But Tim Brown is as exciting a player as there is in football today.
We have a final in New England 28 and the Jets 3. That's now final. And here the Raiders lead by 4, 17-13. 2 minutes to go. The ball at the 50. And Marcus Allen will pick up a couple on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. And San Diego now will start to use their timeouts. Keith Browner makes the tackle. And they'll be using those, of course, to conserve the clock, hoping to have one more opportunity. They trail by 4, so they'll have to be going for the touchdown.
Yeah, you'll also be seeing more blitzing too on the part of the Chargers. They've got to try to get LA out of that field goal position. We'll be back in just a moment.
That is the time remaining. In the opener for San Diego and for the Raiders, 2 teams with question marks. They still have question marks. The story of the game, I think, has to center on Steve Berline and Babe Laufenberg, the 2 quarterbacks. That's what we open. This is their, in reality, neither one had completed a pass in the National Football League, so a big game for both of them. And they performed about the way that you would expect a quarterback to perform in his first National Football League game. Some things good, some things bad.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Berline played admirably, and so did Laufenberg, given their first exposures being starters during the regular season.
Meanwhile, Marcus Allen, 30-second clock, of course, in effect here, because we're coming off of a timeout.
Because of an administrative
stoppage, yes. Marcus Allen, 26 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Mark Malone, now the backup quarterback to Babe Laufenberg. Laufenberg had some cramps in his calf, and we thought that Malone would be coming in. I think Malone thought he was coming in too, but that decision was nullified. So here we go, 2nd down and 8. And Smith has the reception, and so that means that the clock continues.
Jeff Jackson on the tackle.
And that's a nice play by Jackson, because what the Chargers did was blitz the strong safety, Martin Bayless. That means Jackson had to come out and cover the running back out of the backfield. He did so, kept him in bounds, and stopped him for just a 2-yard gain.
So San Diego has to use another timeout, and that stops the clock at 1:46, and the Chargers have 1 timeout remaining. The Raiders have 3. And it will be 3rd down and 8.
Merchandise special.
So using your timeouts judiciously, such as the Chargers have, if they could stop the Raiders here and then use it one more. Now, here's a comparison to give you some numbers, and about what we talked about. They're pretty even. San Diego could have one more opportunity.
Well, they should have another opportunity if they can hold here. The question for the Raiders is, do you throw the football? The Chargers have just one timeout remaining.
Sure you throw it. 3rd down and 8.
I think you do, too, because your defense, you've got enough confidence in your defense. They've played well all day long. So I think you go ahead and throw the football downfield.
Throw for the 1st down?
But you tell Berline, you throw for the 1st down, and if you're absolutely positive you can throw it. If not, get rid of it, get it out of bounds.
And who do you throw to? Tim Brown.
How about Christensen?
All right. Brown's on the left, Christensen's on the right. Incomplete. How about Lofton?
Well, that was in the general area, Christensen.
somewhere around there.
But that's a dangerous play, though. Middle of the field, throwing it down there. The receiver was knocked down.
A lot of people floating around in the middle of the field.
I'm telling you, in that situation, you tell a young quarterback, you have somebody definitely open, or you throw it out of bounds.
So it's 4th down and 8, a minute 40 left to go in the ball game. And Lionel James will be returning the punt of Jeff Gossett. And Lionel has brought some excitement, a couple of big plays. And he's going to call for the fair catch, and he's going to take it at the 11-yard line. So San Diego will have to go 89 yards in 1 minute and 40 seconds to win the ball game. They trail by 4, so they've got to play the full length of the field.
The 7 people in the defense as a zone. And that's exactly what they're going to do out there. There's no sense on sending a linebacker. Laufenberg will have to sit back there and try to fit in between.
Here's a look at the report card. Berline, Allen, and Christensen and Brown. The Raiders report card. Flags are down. That will stop the clock.
Penalty flag on the flag.
Laufenberg, that's a very alert play. He had 2 plays called. It was a bad snap. Get down, cover it, go to the next play. Immediately, because everybody's still in the neighborhood.
Decline. 2nd down.
Penalty gets San Diego. It's refused. It's 2nd down. We're inside the last 2 minutes. The clock is wound. Pass is complete to the 12-yard line, and the clock will continue. And this is Quinn Early who pulled it in. Minute 10 and counting.
And if they don't make the 1st down here, they'll have to go for it on 4th down and use their final timeout. They're wasting too much time back there.
They're calling grasp and control. They're going to mark him down at the 1-yard line. And a flag is down also. 47 seconds. Time remaining in the ball game.
Greg Townsend.
Now they've got to be alert, because if the penalty is declined, they wind the clock. They've got to use their last time out to try and get a play going. It's 4th and quite a bit of yardage. Grasp and control. Yes. Well, yeah, that's a tough call then, too, Charlie. That's awfully subjective.
It is. And it's refused. Clock is not moved from 47 seconds. 5 sacks for the quarterback. Now the clock is still on 47 seconds. Now a moment ago, when the penalty was refused, the clock continued. And the explanation was outside of the 2-minute warning that happens. Inside the 2-minute warning, it was assumed that it would be stopped. It was not stopped. So the officials have missed a couple in this ballgame. This one, and Lionel James, when he was out of bounds, has stopped the clock for that first field goal attempt of the 2-minute warning. Incomplete. Eric Sievers, the intended receiver. Jerry Robinson had the cover. And with 42 seconds left of the ball game, time has run out on the Chargers.
Charlie, in this instance,
Yes.
I think they made a mistake by not calling their final timeout.
Yes,
I mean, it is 4th and 20 yards to go. You have a young quarterback in. Get to the sideline, get the exact play you want called, and forget about using your last timeout. You're 99 yards away.
Now, 42 seconds left. The ball at the 1-yard line. You're the Raiders and the Chargers.
Sit on it. Sit on the football because you can run out the clock. You don't need the extra points. Oh, points at the end of the season as a final time breaker. Let me tell you what, if it goes down that far, okay, fine. I don't think you play the first game of the season to that form. Sit down on the ball. That's it. I like
You
that.
like that?
I like it.
All right.
One of the final tiebreakers is points for and against, but that is well down the line.
I've got a final in.
Okay.
Houston 17, Indianapolis 14, in overtime. Tony Zendejas, 35-yard field goal.
All right. Sounds like a good ball game.
Yes. And the Chargers report card. Now the Chargers take the last time out. Laufenberg, 16 of 27. Anderson, 38 yards, 14 carries. Holland, 2 receptions, including the touchdown. Abbott did a pair of field goals, 23 and 33 yards.
You know, we mentioned that one of the final tiebreakers is points for and against. I don't agree with that because it sets up situations like this where you score more points than you need to.
I think you're right. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's. I think you get rid of that portion of it.
All right, let's take it. And he joins John Madden and John Ralph. Al Davis winning their opener. Marcus Allen going for it. Yes, touchdown. You know why?
Why?
Because San Diego took a timeout.
But they had to use their last.
Why did they? No, they fell on the ball. They said, we'll fall on the ball. We'll run the clock down. San Diego said, we're going to take the timeout. If you're going to do that, we're going for it.
You always use your final timeouts.
No, I just tell them.
But they could have run the clock out anyway.
No.
They have not?
Marcus Allen has 2 touchdowns.
He sure does.
That's right.
And they will never forget it, will they?
That's right.
He'll come back to haunt him someday.
I'm not sure. Not if you don't play better, it won't.
Well, that's true, too. Now, I
really think Marcus Allen, 28 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Wonderful day. This is the stuff you put up on the blackboard before your next football game.
If it takes a newspaper clipping to get you excited, you're in the wrong business. All right, bar with the extra point.
What gets you excited? Is that question?
What gets me excited? The paycheck gets me excited. And the extra point is good. That is 24-13. Back with the kickoff in a moment. Well, you can see some of the fans are getting an early ride to the freeway. 21 seconds left to go. 24-13. The Raiders out in front. This one will be down in the end zone, so the clock does not move. The ball in the last 2 minutes of play, there's some rule changes, and one of them is that the clock does not start on a kickoff until the ball has been touched in the field of play. The end zone, of course, not in the field of play, so the ball comes out to the 20-yard line. And San Diego will have one more opportunity.
Steve Berline has played quite a game, but so has Tim Brown. Who do you like for our MVP, Charlie?
Well, I think Tim Brown. Because the 97-yard kickoff return for the touchdown and a pair of big receptions. And the kickoff return coming just 9 seconds after San Diego had scored and put them in a position where that was it. So our player of the game is Tim Brown. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in the games in the NFL today. Budweiser, most valuable player award. And Laufenberg deep over the middle, and this one is incomplete. He was going to Darren Flutie. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 with 15 seconds left to go.
Charlie, you live in the San Diego area.
Yes.
What is
in La Jolla?
In La Jolla. What is the general consensus fan reaction to what the Chargers have done during this preseason? They're
mixed. I think mixed. They've done some good things and some things that people disagree with. Kellen Winslow, he is not playing, and that's all been up in the air and has been discussed, and it'll be, decisions will be made on it. I think mixed reactions. Some things good. I think Laufenberg has created a lot of excitement. I think the fans were glad to see Darren Flutie make the team. And I think also that they're pleased with the wide receivers. And it's a matter of building. And here is Darren Flutie with the reception and steps out of bounds to stop the clock. And they said right from the beginning he played like a veteran rather than like a rookie. Very smart ball player. Yeah. So there's some good things. And I think both of these ball clubs are really in the same situation. They're both building. There's what we were talking about as Mike Shanahan will be victorious in his first NFL game.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between these two teams.
Yes, there really is.
2 very young head coaches, the 2 youngest in the NFL, 2 unproven quarterbacks coming out to try to play.
Lee Majors.
Yes. Well, no wonder the $1 billion man.
Billion, is that
I don't know
inflation?
what
That's
inflation. It just keeps
That's
going
right.
up. You know. Offenberg with a good scramble. That's not going to help you unless you can go all the way. Don't slide now. As you slide, time runs out.
And it does.
Well, you know, that also comes with experience, too. I think all in all, a pretty good opener for both ball clubs. The Raiders win it. The final is Los Angeles 24 and San Diego 13. Jimmy and I will be back to the Coliseum in the heat in just a moment, so don't go away.